Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys that we definitely want you guys to stick around for. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, some of you are like, why the hell did he just scream? I don't even know myself. Anyway, let me get into the show here. This is going to be a fun topic for me. It's going to, I believe, create a lot of conversation, and I think that's what sports is all about. Having nice spirited debate. So, this morning, I was kind of combing through the internet and was doing some research, and then I stumbled upon this article. I believe it was from the sportsrush.com. I could be wrong. I don't remember exactly. That was referencing a video in which Kevin Durant sat down to do an interview with Jamal Crawford. If you don't know who Jamal Crawford is, you calling yourself an NBA fan, I don't know what to tell you. Dude had one of the illest, most deadly crossovers in NBA history. A flat-out scorer. Was a hell of a player in Jamal Crawford. And I think he won a six-man of the year a few times, I think. But I think the person that holds the record for most six-men, I think it could be Lou Williams. I could be wrong. But I could be wrong. But anyway, he's a hell of a player. Anyway, so he was on there, and they were talking about a bunch of different things. They were talking about basketball, when Kevin Durant came up. How did he get into basketball? When did he know he was going to become a great player? Who are some of the players that he looks up to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But then it got to a particular point during the interview. I believe this was on, I think it was on House of Highlights. It's either, I think it's House of Highlights or Bleacher Report, one of the two. Anyway, towards the end of the interview, because it was kind of rapid fire, he asked him, he said, we're going to do word association. So I'm going to say a player's name, and then you're going to tell me what you think about it. And during this, during that questionnaire, those series of questions, he asked him about three players. He asked him about Kobe Bryant. He asked him about Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and he asked him about Michael Jordan. And what he said, I thought was very interesting, and yet confusing. So what we want to do is we want to play exactly what Kevin Durant had to say here, and then we'll come back and react to it. Take a listen to that there.
Yeah, it felt good, man, especially back home. Now we just gonna play word association. I say a name, you can say a sentence about them, whatever you feel. Rucker Park. Legendary. Yeah. None but greats touched that court, and if you didn't bring your game, then they was gonna let you know about it no matter what you did on the NBA floor. So I have no more respect for the record. Seattle. A hoops mecca, like some of the greatest skilled players of all time, the greatest players of all time. Like our game is seen, just cultural icons come from there. PG County. A hoops mecca as well. A lot of great players come from there and still come from there. Kobe. Top two. Bron. The greatest, this is the most accomplished about the past. Kareem. Like, damn, that's gonna be a day. That's going to be a day. Sure. Jordan, the GOAT.
So you heard what KD had to say. KD said the following. When he got to Kobe, he said top two of all time. Top two. Then they asked him the next question. LeBron. He said greatest. He's going to have all of these accolades and all this. So he said greatest. And then when he got to Jordan, he said GOAT. Time out. Either they edited it in a very funny way, or he said what he just said. Because based on what I just understood from what he said was, he said this. Kobe Bryant is a top two player of all time. There are some people that will believe that. I think he's top three. I got Jordan, Kareem, and Kobe. So, fine. Then he said LeBron is greatest. And I'm assuming he's saying the greatest of all time. I could be wrong, but that's what he said. And then finally, he said Michael Jordan is the GOAT. So what I can extrapolate from his comments is simply this then. LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan, in his mind, are top three players of all time. That's kind of what I got from what he said. I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. But I think that's what I got. I do know for a fact that he has Kobe Bryant number 2. That I do know because he said it before. He has Jordan 1A, 1B. But I think he's saying or openly admitting that LeBron is a top 3 player, which is really where I want to go with this entire show here. Here's where I'm going. I think that if you look at most people's NBA top 5s, there are a few names you're going to see in there. You're obviously going to see Jordan. You're obviously going to see LeBron. You're obviously going to see Kobe. You're obviously going to see Kareem, and you're obviously going to see Magic Johnson. Now, in some other people's lists, you may have Bill Russell in there. Some people will have Wilt Chamberlain in there. Some people will have Larry Bird in there. But usually, those are the usual suspects. And to me, I think generally what people think is the 3 greatest players of all time, in my personal opinion, based on what I think people think, is Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan. Now, the people that say, no, Kobe is not a top 3 player, I think is crazy. I personally think these people are crazy, but there are some people that think that, right? Literally to think that. To me, I think it's mad. Like, I'm thinking it's just, all right, whatever. I don't know how you came to that conclusion, but there are people that think that. But what I think it points to is the overall greatness of all of those players. Now, funny enough, to address the LeBron point, I actually had LeBron number 4 all time prior to, yes, I had LeBron James number 4 all time prior to the season when they acquired Russell Westbrook. Prior to that season, I had him number 4 all time. Yeah, you can have a bad season, you can miss the playoffs, but the year before that, he had won a championship, and I thought he was a top 4 player of all time. This is just me. I actually had him number 4. I had Jordan, Kareem, I had Kobe, and I had LeBron at number 4. And then what happened last year was just a total disaster given the talent that they had. So that kind of knocked him down a few spots. I said that this season, depending on how things go, he may go up my list. But again, this is just my list. This is not the list of basketball, right? I'm not like Thanos here when it comes to basketball. I'm not like, what do you want to call him? Just a person giving my opinion on it. Looking at LeBron this season, he just had a 47-point game, which is incredibly impressive on his 38th birthday. Could LeBron move up in my list? He probably will. Probably when it's all said and done, I'll still have him in my top 5 all time. Probably when it's still, said and done. Because as a player, I think he's a hell of a player. I think he's a hell of a player. And if I'm comparing him to maybe Magic Johnson, I would say LeBron is better than Magic Johnson, although I didn't watch much of Magic Johnson playing. I've seen quite a bit of tape on him. But then there's some people out there that would argue that Larry Bird is better than LeBron. I know this guy, Mad Dog Russo, definitely would say that. But, because Larry Bird did average 24, 10, and I think six assists for his career. And I think he's a 2 or 3 time finals MVP or something like that. So he's a hell of a player too, right? But I think he'll probably end up in my top 5 all time when it's all said and done. I just wish he would stop with the, I'm a winner. And, bro, we know you're a winner, man. Like, you ain't got to tell us. But then again, KD says, you know how great I am. So whatever, I guess it's just how it works. But I guess the biggest takeaway from all of that is that these are all great players. These are all pantheon players. Now, the people that told me, no, Kobe's not, you can kick rocks. There's like, to me, is the biggest joke that some people would think that. I think, like, okay, so where do you live? When did you start watching basketball for you to have this opinion? Like, the only people I ever heard say this are Nick Wright and maybe, I don't know, Shannon Sharp or whatever it is. Chris Broussard sometimes said, I think Chris doesn't have him in his top 5 or something like that, but that's their opinion. I disagree with them. If they have a right to that opinion, I have a right to my opinion. So to me, I think that's basically what KD is saying, basically saying all of these guys are great. However, I didn't quite understand those rankings. I got Kobe's part, number 2. I got that. I got Jordan's part as the GOAT, but you got LeBron as the greatest. So that's why I kind of confused. So the question is, what do you think about what KD, what he was saying? What do you think are his real rankings? And what are your top 3 players of all time? Whatever you guys think, or top 3, whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you all on the next show. Peace.